We're excited to introduce a more streamlined process for the research officers to make changes for the heads of department, or HODs as many of you know. Should you have any questions, if you could please add it to the chat, and either Kylie, Corinne or I will answer these questions at the end of the webinar. The following process is an internal process that the team uses to update heads of department in REGIS, which I'll be walking you through to provide you and your office with the knowledge and tools necessary to complete these updates in the system. Our team has been made aware of a document being circulated amongst research officers and have come across several who have manually updated heads of department in REGIS without training and encountered issues because of this. So please note that as of yesterday, no one is to manually update heads of department in REGIS anymore. All requests must be sent to the REGIS inbox for processing. And if you are unfamiliar with this process, please follow the steps set out in the adding or removing head of department QRG, and the link will be provided in the chat for you to access. In this webinar, I'm going to guide you through the steps to complete this efficient and convenient process. If you opt not to update your heads of department yourself, please use today's information as a guide to ensure that you're correctly filling in the heads of department spreadsheet for successful updates of head of department within your local health district. So before your office can start updating any head of departments, the first step is getting access to run the script required for updating. This is completed through SARA by submitting an access request to be a super user for your local computer. The directions on how to do this in SARA, they'll be made available and circulated in the coming weeks, along with the script and related information. So today I will be demonstrating in our testing environment, which mimics your day-to-day REGIS. The dashboard that we're going to be using is the head of department dashboard, and this can be found on the left-hand side of the screen. So we just select dashboards once, and then we select current head of department. So for this example, I'm going to use Western Sydney Local Health District. However, you would only ever be updating your local health district data. So the first thing you do is you want to add your research office. So you can either type it in or you can search through the scrolling. But once we load, you'll find that typing is going to be probably the quickest way to get to the data that you're looking to access. So the fields along in grid 1, they match exactly to the spreadsheet on our template as it's presented, and you'll find that all the heads of department will appear, including those that have been removed, which is why you can see Eliza there. So I'm going to download this spreadsheet just to show you how using the data that's in REGIS will ensure correct data is added to the template for successful upload. And you just want to export that as an Excel spreadsheet. This is what you'll see when you download your heads of department. And so what we're going to do here is, like, the easiest way to ensure the data fields are correct is to copy the fields. So from the name through to jurisdiction, and then paste that into your template. So I'm just going to show you how quickly and easily that's done. And this is our template that we have on our website. And so in these fields, you'll find that you have things that are starred. So anything with the asterisks is required information. And as you can see, when you're pulling data from REGIS and you're copying over, you'll find that those columns that are required are already filled out. And along with that, you will find these two blank columns. So these permissions groups and the access rule groups are actually internal fields that are required for REGIS, so at the back end of things. And so you won't be required to fill these out. However, they are required for the script to run correctly. So for this example, we're going to remove myself from this position and we're going to add somebody in the exact same. So we're removing a head of department, and then what we're doing is we're going to add in the new head of department for this site. In this, I'm going to use my colleague Corinne's details, but obviously you'll use your correct head of department. And then to make the rest of the process much quicker, because we're just changing that head of department, you can copy and paste that same information into the bottom row. So this means that everything that you have added in these fields will be correct as it is in REGIS. And it's really important that the information you're adding does reflect what currently in REGIS, otherwise you will have errors occur. And when you're adding a new head of department, the email address that has to be their REGIS account email. However, if they don't have a REGIS account, then this will create an account for them. So now when you're doing it, you may find that you have other heads of department that you're adding and removing. But in this example, we're just going to do the two. So I'm going to file and save this. And you'll need to make sure this is saved to your local workstation for uploading into the script. Only once you have your super user access for your local workstation can you run the script required to update your head of department. And this script will need to be saved to your local workstation, as you'll only be able to update the head of department from this specific computer. And as previously mentioned, the directions on how to get super user access will be made available and circulated in the coming weeks, along with the script I'm about to use. When you do open up your script for the first time, it is a file that's titled regis api.test, and it looks like this. First-time users will expect to have a blue box appear to run the script, and when you do encounter this blue pop-up, you will need to go to the Regis Programs Properties and under General, check the Unblock box. So then along with this script, you'll also receive a key. So the key will fill in the URL, the access key and the access secret, and will look something like this. We have multiple keys, however, that's for the different environments that we use. When you do get your key, you'll just have the one, and you just fill out the fields with that information. If for any reason you do not fill these out correctly, it will just come back as an unhandled exception and won't let you go any further. I just want to make clear that we're only focusing on the head of department, which is the functionality we're showing you today. However, the department changes will continue to be actioned by Regis support team as normal. Once you do upload your file, you just click the upload button. You'll need to wait until you get a notification within this app that says the task is completed. And this can take some time, but not normally too long. Following task completed, you then need to wait for a confirmation email to arrive in your inbox. Currently, the script is set to send the successful or fail email to the Regis inbox. However, we are in talks with the vendor about having this setup changed so that these emails will be sent to the research officers directly, and this information or any updates will be provided to you with the script. So once your task is complete and you've received your email that says bulk upload of people and organizations successful, and it will look something like this, and it will have any tabs that are in that spreadsheet included. If for any reason that you don't get your email, then you would definitely have to run the script again. So once you've received your successful email, that means that all the data that has been entered in has been successfully uploaded. All you need to do then is you can either save or delete that email and know that Regis is updated with those heads of department. If for any reason you get the error email, which is bulk upload of people and organizations failure, none of the data has been uploaded, and you will need to open the Excel attachments to see where the data has failed. Following that, you will then need to amend the failed data and complete the upload again. Some of the common errors that we see are that the existing departments must be supplied, the existing department must be supplied for head of department. We'll definitely provide you a rough guide on what these mean when you do receive that information in the coming weeks. If you do get any error, such as in red, where it says unable to add previously inactivated position, process manually, we would still like you to send these to the Regis inbox, and we will do this in the back end for you. So incorrect data is the number one reason that your request cannot be fulfilled. And the most common errors we see are related to position titles, departments, and sites. So it's really important that your data matches exactly what's in Regis. So for example, providing the department as anesthetics instead of the correct department. For example, sometimes they've got an acronym, so CNM dash or hyphen anesthetics hyphen all departments. If you don't add that extra information, this will cause an error as the department has a prefix, and this is what the system's searching for when actioning your request. If you do not provide data pulled directly from the current head of department dashboard, you're very likely to have incorrect data, which will delay your request further. So when you do receive a failure message, that does mean that none of the data has been processed, and the benefit of this method ensures only the correct data is going into the system. if your office is interested in completing your own head of department updates, if you could please use the form that's in the chat to let us know and we'll be in touch.